More on Turkey's historic presidential election. I'm joined by Bulent Aliriza. He's the director and senior associate at the Turkey Project at Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, D.C. Welcome to our broadcast. I noticed that he came out saying already that he plans to change the Constitution. What are the chances of this?
He's been saying that throughout the election campaign. In fact, he's been wanting a new constitution, shifting Turkey away from the current parliamentary system to a presidential system. He failed to get the legislation through the National Assembly. The numbers were not there. So what he intends to do, and he made that, as I said, clear throughout the election campaign, is to maximize the existing powers of the presidency, literally to their limits and maybe even beyond, in order to transform Turkey into a de facto quasi-presidential system.
I see. And are you surprised by the turnout that we've heard about, just low voter turnout?
No, 77% is high, much higher than American presidential elections. But
by their standards, lower.
It's quite clear that the opposition candidate, the two main opposition parties had agreed on a single candidate. He failed to excite the base of at least one of those two parties, so a lot of people stayed away. They didn't poll the 44% that they'd polled in the last elections. He only polled 40%. But clearly, you know, Mr. Erdogan knows how to win elections. He ran a superb campaign, and he's now president.
Right, exactly. So he's talking about redefining this role. What do you expect to see from him?
More of the same, if he has his way. He's been the person who made the decisions. The decider, it was the term that George Bush used to use in the old days. He's being the decider. The question is whether he can actually continue to be the decider from the presidential palace that he was as prime minister and party leader in a parliamentary system.
How important is this new position, considering what is going on in the Middle East? And where do you think he will fit into this?
Into the Middle East?
Yes.
Well, there are problems beyond Turkey's border, southern border, in Syria and in Iraq. Mr. Erdogan has been very interested in developing a Middle Eastern role for Turkey. Turkey's got engaged with the Kurdish regional government, which, as we know, is in trouble. Now, he will obviously give priority to foreign policy issues, but even more importantly, from his point of view, he has to reorganize the party and arrange for a prime minister who would allow him to continue to play the role that he's been playing until now.
Will people be looking for him very soon for his response on the situation with Islamic State in Iraq and what's going on, the civil war in Syria?
Well, he's got a problem because the Turkish Consul General in Mosul, along with his staff and family, have been held hostage by the Islamic State for over a month now. And in fact, Turkey is in a quandary. Clearly, it's worried about what ISIS or the Islamic State is doing, but it's also worried about the fate of the hostages. So I do not anticipate Turkey making drastic moves in the near future on this issue.
Mm-hmm. How much do people, the average citizens there, care about this election? Because in the past, it was not the role that it is now, the presidential one.
They care because it was Mr. Erdogan. Those who support him, and it's just over 50%, cared a great deal that he won this election. Those who oppose him, and Turkey is very much a polarized society, tried to make him lose this election, although that was always unlikely. Mm-hmm. So it mattered in that sense. But other than that, you know, people care more about the economy and other things.
Anything quickly that neighboring countries can learn from Erdogan? Not really.
I mean, Turkey was put forward as a model for a very, very long time. Less so now because of the problems that Turkey's had over the past year and its lack of effectiveness in the Middle East. But, you know, each country has its own system of government, and I doubt whether anybody will be looking to Turkey.
Bulent Aliriza, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you coming into our broadcast.